of Doc and Queenie. My name's Laura Christine, and welcome to our Facebook Live.
My name's Kathy Weaver.
And this is Kathy Weaver. Kathy Weaver, aka Queenie. Welcome. Welcome to our Facebook Live. Can you believe it, Queenie? It's September 21st already.
No,
Crazy.
I actually can't. It's phenomenal to me. I think just yesterday was 4th of July, right?
It feels like it. You know, once you hit 4th of July, it just flies.
It really does.
I'm one to start my Christmas shopping in October, so I'm getting close. But
Yeah.
before I go on, let me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all right. I talked to another girl on the phone recently, and I said, "What are you going to do this weekend?" And she said, "Don't yell at me, but I'm actually going Christmas shopping."
So, I like her already.
I know. She actually was going to the stores in person to do Christmas shopping. So I thought that was kind of interesting for September. And other people are still getting into their pumpkin spice latte.
Yep. I'm lazy. I lay on the couch. And
yeah. Well,
but
we had a good reason to lay on the couch yesterday.
Yes. Got those Chiefs. Go Chiefs.
Seriously. And sometimes I felt like I was going to pass out too, because it was like, oh my gosh, don't put me through this, guys.
Exactly. Well, hey, before we get too much further into this, I have my list of 10 faithful friends on purpose to thank.
Let's hear who they are today.
And of course, disclaimer always, if I mispronounce your name, shoot me a correction, I guess. Maybe that's what I should say. And I apologize ahead of time. All right. So thank you. And we are honored to have you guys as part of our members and our faithful friends on purpose. Angela Kramer, Barbara Gulen, Becky Wilson, Camille McLean, Dia Liang, Rebecca Elizabeth, Tina Cochran, Erica Winston, Joanne Gunn, Judy Jurgens. Those are
my gosh, that's awesome.
Friends on purpose. So
our numbers are getting higher and higher. This is so much fun.
Yes, it's been fun to look up the names. And like I always apologize, I'm not the greatest with pronouncing things. I have to hear somebody's name a couple of times before I get it right.
That's awesome. I love the thank you piece so much. By the way, I don't know if you remember this, but let's see if I can find it today.
Okay.
Gratitude Day for me is kind of like every day. And we always have people to thank for all the different things that happen in our lives. Our very first Doc and Queenie Bingo was this past Thursday. And we actually had 5 amazing sponsors who offered door prizes. And I'd like to list those ladies right now.
Awesome.
The one and only Karen Reyes, who created our new Doc and Queenie logo, which is super awesome fun.
Thank you, Karen.
My gosh. And then Brenda Kempton, who also calls herself Brenda. Great.
Awesome.
Was Send Out Cards, Michelle Cruz with Legal Shield, and Tracy Williams with Inspiring Hope. And they were the sponsors for our very first bingo event. And our next one is already scheduled for October 20th because everybody goes, when's the next one? When's the next one? When's the next one? And we already have 3 sponsors for that one signed up. So this has been so much fun. Who knew that bingo would be such a hit? But the way that we've been doing it online is pretty awesome.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. And we were kind of playing with music and stuff. And we were having fun and everybody's laughing.
I disclaimer on the music part.
Yeah. Well, we'll be working on that. You know, any suggestions, send it our way.
Some people weren't understanding my Lauren Bacall renditions. Since the young people are on there going, who is that?
Yeah, that sounds kind of, yeah.
I know, seriously. And even you got a little bit, what is that? I know. Before we get further into our show for today, I do have a very large presentation I would like to do. Drum roll, please.
Drum roll. Okay. I don't know if you could hear that.
Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. Congratulations, my friend, on your 6th podcast with Mighty Morning Moment.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes.
I got to hear your thank you already, and that is super fun. And I listen from Spotify because it's very easy for people like me. Yes. And so I have a Spotify thing, but 60 podcasts. And I know personally, because I'm a date person, that you started on March 24th.
I looked at the counter on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, 60. It's crazy.
That's amazing. It is crazy. But that is such an accomplishment. And I know when you first started, I wonder what a podcast would do. And I wonder if this, and all of a sudden the next thing you know, here you are at 60. So I guess it's been
Well,
fantastic for you.
it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And like I said, everybody has to go out there and listen. It's a thank you to everybody. But every day is different. I do have a few series that I wind in and out of all of my podcasts. And right now we're on it's all about diets seriously. And I, give a little information here and there in between thoughts. It's just morning thoughts. It's pretty cool. And 60, and then I was telling you the other day, I've had over 500 people listening to my podcast.
Gosh.
And I'm just like blown away. So if you want to find it, it's on, like you said, it's on, you do Spotify, it's on Anchor, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on, I want to say it's called Apple Podcast, and then a few other names that I can never remember. But you just look up Mighty Morning Moment, and I'm the only one that does that title. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that really is. And think about, honestly, I go back into I'm flexible as long as you don't change anything. Some of the times when I do trainings, whether it's networking or the water business or whatever that looks like, my question always is, what problem do you solve? And when I ask that question to people, they always go, what? And are we able to be, are we called to be the solution to someone's problem? And whether it's the friendship piece that we certainly talk a lot about on here, those are the kind of things I wonder. And that's why you see the girl chat with a faith twist. A lot of times for me, what I have found with ladies, you talk a lot, Doc, about the story in your head. And when you meet with clients or you meet with people, or you certainly talk about the diet thing, it's the story in your head. And so what about the change, pivot, shift piece during this time with the story in your head?
Well, we could go so many directions, but to kind of backtrack slightly on what you just said, you and I talk a lot about, we always pray that God puts somebody in our path that needs us.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's temporary, like walking through the line at Walmart and talking to a checker, or whether it's major, a business, networking gig for you, or whether it's health for me. I mean, it all shows up differently. People get stuck. I think that's probably the biggest thing we've noticed. Stuck or overreacting because of what's in their head. And change is difficult. We talked about this the other day. Change is extremely hard for, especially us. I think little kids and our kids, they're still young. We're all worried about changes for them, but I think as parents and adults, we're the ones that are, we're stuck in our sameness. And of course, we've all been challenged these past 6 months to change and pivot.
But who's counting? Just the fact that you've been on vacation for 29 weeks, it's not like I'm paying attention to that.
No, I know. I tell you.
Some people, for those who don't know, Doc, at the very beginning, we have a group called No Excuses Networking. And I was counting the weeks that we were Zooming for the networking group. And so all of a sudden we got up to 15, then we got 16, then we got 17. And we talked about the fact that some people called it quarantine, some people called it pandemic, some people called it the stay-at-home order, and Doc always called it vacation.
Yes.
So for you to be on vacation 29 weeks, girlfriend, is pretty amazing.
Well, that kind of ties into the stories in our head. If you can just take one day at a time, be as positive as possible, pray every minute if you need to, it turns out differently. I took advantage of the time at home because before the quarantine, my business, I was, as you know, I stack my appointments, stack my business. I was gone from at least 9 to 5, sometimes later, and it was constant go, 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 and then work when I got home. So yeah, I'm really on vacation because I don't have to run out and find somebody somewhere and look at the clock. It's a heck of a lot easier. So,
are you finding that most of your clients at least do the initial consult by Zoom? Is that how you do it?
Yes, I've been doing that. I've had a few one-on-ones. Coffee is still my passion. So coffee shops.
Yeah.
I think between you and I, we know them all right in the area probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. If they've got a sign that says coffee, I'm there.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Zoom is the majority of them right now. But things are starting to loosen up and people are starting to meet for coffee, which is fun. So, and while the weather's great, we can sit outside too.
No
So
kidding. And I've been loving the outside piece so much. This weather in Kansas City has been amazing.
Yes.
No, and we want to thank certainly the girls who are watching from all over,
Yes.
which is super fun. We have some Las Vegas, Nevada fans, which is yay. We've got several Florida fans. I've got a girl in Pennsylvania that's taking a peek. And I know you have fans internationally. So tell us about that.
Got a few in the UK. I've got one in Ireland and I've got a few in Australia. So I'm just like, hey.
That's awesome.
I want to come and visit.
Yes. I know
I'm on vacation.
1 second for you to go, yes, I'll travel. Yes, I'll travel.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't take much. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody want to travel? Hey.
That's awesome.
Once they let us out.
One of the things that we talk about a lot on this call is friendship and what that looks like for a lot of people. If people are not able to actually meet in person and have that coffee chat, or maybe they're even in different parts of the country at this point, it's back to that same thing, the pivot piece or the shifting piece. How have you been able to stay connected with a lot of your friends? And I think a lot of times the ladies that we talk to, especially now that the doors have been open with the Doc and Queenie page, that has been the most fun for me, is all of a sudden the ladies are watching and they say, perfect idea. Let's get together for a vendor event. Let's do a virtual vendor event. Let's do a networking group online. What does that look like? And some of the ladies that I'm involved with actually are doing their coaching classes online. So
That's awesome.
Does it have to be in person? If whether or not people are comfortable or it's just a shift. Even churches, did you think about that? Actually, yesterday I was watching several of my favorite churches here locally in Kansas City. Several of my favorite churches, sometimes they pan back so you can actually see who is in the congregation, and the numbers are still quite down. So I think it's a matter of, this might be the new norm. What do you think about that?
I'm thinking so. As Americans, we always ebb and flow with things, with changes, and we've always been great at ingenuity. And I think, Zoom and one-on-one on Zoom, whether it's a church or networking or whatever, there have been Pilates classes, aerobics classes, all of that online. And I think it shows the creativity and people's flexibility. Yeah, I really think it's going to continue this way. Because, now people are not wearing pants when they're on Zoom calls.
Yes, we heard that with one of our rock star ladies last week. And she said, if I'm having pants on or not. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so it really is maybe the wave of the future. But once again, it's the ability to laugh at ourselves. I know that you've done a lot of updates with your website as far as your soul, body, spirit message. And I think that has been, again, when you said that you now have time to do that, since you're not wasting so much time travel, as far as your appointments, you can do everything from the comfort of your office. It's back to that same drill. Now we're able to do some of the things that we didn't think we had time for before.
Right.
For me, it's cultivating friendships and certainly relationship partners with my Kangen water business. I know for you, it's a lot of your blog and your podcast pieces and your website, Soul, Body, Spirit. I love that.
Yeah, that's happening. I'm in the process, but and also for you, Queenie, your book, like, here's a celebration. You made it to chapter 9. Did I get that?
Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you for that. Yeah. My third book, actually, who knew I was even going to write one, which is always, God has such a sense of humor. But my third book is actually Networking on Steroids PQ. And that is a guide to networking in a world post-quarantine. And so I have been actually recording my book, just a literal recording from my office, and posting that on YouTube. And then I also have been posting 1 chapter a week on my Networking on Steroids PQ Facebook page. And by doing that, I started thinking, one of the colleges that I've been working with over the years, just for workshops and training for them, I've been going to 5 different campuses during the course of a semester. And I love it. I get to meet the students in person and certainly the staff. But quite frankly, once again, we're talking travel time. So by the time you get 5 campuses handled, it is, it's the whole semester's up. And then you've got weather issues and all of a sudden some kind of different lunch and learn meeting. now I'm able, next Tuesday, I get to do all 5 campuses at one time via Zoom. And so it's one of those things to be able to train like this has been so awesome for me, because it really does. How many miles, how many months to the gallon of gas do you get?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites, because I think about that. How many months do you go with your car before you have to fill up again? And that's been another pivot, I guess you would say. But yeah, I think that's
Totally.
fun.
Oh, totally. I used to fill up 3 times a week.
Oh my
And now
gosh. I
I
bet
think
you
it's been
did.
maybe once a month, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while we have the opportunity, Queenie, how about if you explain what your business is in addition to all of your books? Because
Oh my gosh, absolutely. My business is Kangen Water. That is Kangen. One of the girls on my call the other day mispronounced it, thinking it's another large company that you've probably heard of that I won't mention here. But it's Kangen Water, and my DBA is Miracles with Water. And that started in 2008. I cannot believe next Wednesday begins my 13th year with this company. So while we're celebrating milestones, that's like amazing. And
That's awesome.
in 2012, my first book was published, and that's Networking on Steroids, the orange one that you see behind me. And then because of one of my coaches, she suggested that I write a book about my journey of grief and survivorship. And that came out. He hit the clouds running and never looked back in 2017. And then at the prompting of God, and he literally said this, you need to write another book. And you were with me at the time, and I was kicking and screaming all the way. And you have to write another book. What does this look like in a world post-quarantine? And I was like, no, nobody needs it. Nobody's going to read it. Nobody this, nobody that. And once again, hello, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength continues to be my favorite verse. And I live by that. And all of a sudden he goes, yes. And the cover literally happened in about 2 weeks. I've got a great designer that took my first cover and just purpled it up a little bit. And the next thing you know, this is going all over the place. And that's when I thought maybe I could do it audio. So it's been a whirlwind actually
Awesome.
for 13 years, but I've loved every minute of it, because for me, networking definitely works. That's how I met you, by the way, girlfriend.
Yes, it is. Well,
Tell us
and
a little bit about Beyond Basic Health while we're on this topic.
well, before I forget, I have to tell everybody about when you did your third book. I was amazed because you like slammed it out in, what was it, 48 hours?
Yes, it was amazing. I couldn't believe how fast it all
Yeah.
could be. The downloads I get from God all the time were amazing. And I saw the people on the calls I was doing filled with angst or trepidation or hesitation or whatever that looks like. And I thought, we've got to get the word out about how to network in this environment and what it's going to look like even futuristically. And God gave me all the downloads. So yeah, it was pretty quick.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I am the owner and creator of Beyond Basic Health, which is a naturopathic wellness company. And as many of you know, I love to garden. And so I've tied my gardening into how I teach with my naturopathic business. And I also have a YouTube. It's called RevDoc7. .com is actually my link to my Beyond Basic Health website. It's Monday still.
Yes, sir.
Still having a Monday. I will consistently say that. I was doing good until 5
How long
seconds.
did your Mondays last, Doc?
They last all day. But I do teaching with gardening, little tips and little funnies on the RevDoc7 on YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel, and then like we talked about, Mighty Morning Moment. That's designed to make you think. Because I come from the perspective of soul, body, spirit, which the whole body, optimal health is if the soul, body, and spirit are working properly together. And I put all of that together in how I help people either get healthy or just tweak things or whatever they need. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. So, and I met you at No Excuses, July 25th, 2019. I was going to say 1919.
Yeah, 1919. I think awfully good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, behind me, as you can see, are some of the bountiful gifts that you have given me from your harvest. And I am telling you the truth, for those of us who don't do the K-Room, it is phenomenal when it is fresh out of a garden, how something tastes compared to stores or certainly delivery. Hello. Push a button, comes to your door. I think this is magic. And so when you have taught me some of these things, just think of it and savor it. And oh my gosh. And I'm like, wow. Some of the, for those of you who can, if you're driving, for heaven's sakes, please don't look yet, watch the recording.
Yes, please.
If you are watching with us, the pictures behind me are the garlic that Doc has given me, the onions fresh out of her garden. The tomatoes are phenomenal. And also, once again, I don't know, what is that called? Basil and rosemary?
Yeah,
Is that
we
right?
did basil. I'm trying to remember what else we have in there. I don't remember.
Because I just can't, oh my gosh.
Potatoes.
Literally are phenomenal. And it's one of those things. In fact, I have asked you before, and I will be incredibly transparent here. Where does that come from? Is it on a tree? Do you get it out of the sky? How does this actually grow? And so it really has been awesome for me. And the good thing is you're a very nice teacher. And now what do I do with it? So you bring this harvest over here. The green beans have been amazing because once again, those come out of a can in my life. And so I just thought, oh my gosh, the difference in the flavor all this time has been phenomenal.
Well, yes, and
Yeah.
I manipulate you to once in a while, like we did that little cooking while we were making something. I forced her to work in her kitchen a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was fun. We'll have to do it again, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. But I know it's not quite so scary. That's okay with me.
Yeah, we'll just see what with this fall and winter. I'm going to attempt to grow things indoors. I've dabbled in it a little bit, but I'm gonna try it. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to manipulate my husband to get him to be on board with a few little changes in the house.
Yeah, well, that'll be easy. It's back to the same thing. I'm flexible as long as you don't change anything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly. Sure. Do what I say. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. I think a lot when we talk to the ladies, and especially we appreciate you, everybody so much chiming in on the call, and certainly the chat that happens after on our Doc and Queenie Facebook group page. And then all of a sudden what happens is the watch party, and then your friend and somewhere else sees it, and then they say, what is that? And we're still not sure. And they see, who are those people? No one knows. That's okay. And we go back to that same deal. What does the friendship look like? How does it start? Where does it go from here? We talk a lot about flipping the conversation. If it's all about me, boring, if you flip it and get it back so it's an actual conversation back and forth, you get to learn the neatest things about people. And some of the girls on the call have done that, and certainly in the watch parties and all, we get to meet people from everywhere now. And I seriously love that.
Yes. Oh gosh, it's been loads of fun. Yeah. I actually had somebody the other day that asked me if I could ask you to talk about, your business more, because she knew you were into water, but she didn't know what that meant. And
my
I
gosh.
thought that was fun. So.
And where did you meet that lady? Was that one of your church friends or from your prior work?
One of my church friends.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but she was excited to, hear about, and she goes, yeah, I know a lot about you, but I'd like to know more
and that
about Queenie. And I said, well,
a lot of times in calls like this, people are a little bit, shall we say, reluctant to talk about their businesses. For me,
it's that connect piece that we talk about. It's a friendship piece.
Absolutely.
And
I really do. I think that totally matters, because where would we be, the connection part? And then in our case, back to the fact that we actually met because of networking. That's the part that I think people say, oh my gosh, what does that look like? And for your friend, once again, this is the Miracles with Water logo. And I'm so proud of this. And very seriously, the ripple effect was a big deal for me. And I told the person who was designing my logo for me, I want Jesus Christ in the center of my water drop. I want everything purple, green, and white. I want the cross part to be like the majesty moonbeam things that come out of it. And I want the miracleswithwater.org on it. And it literally was one of those things. After a few trial and error, this is what it came up. And I seriously, I love it. I didn't do it myself, but I absolutely love it. And people have seen the miracleswithwater.org logo. I sponsor a lot of gigs around here, actually. And it's one of those things, they just see that and they go, whatever that is, I want to know more about it. And then they go to the website, and then they need a water machine just like the rest of us. And it seriously is phenomenal. Right. God works in our lives. I mean, honestly, we talk a lot about,
And it's fun to add people to the water family, and I was telling her I'm part of the water family because, of course, I believe in it. Even if I wasn't a natural, because I've seen huge changes, and I know where my water's coming from. You know,
yes. And
so
I
which
think
I
that's
think is
such a big
awesome.
deal too.
Yeah. Hey,
I wanted,
those are great, Mom. Your background there.
thank you. I love them so much. And purple, who knew, right?
I know.
I can tell a little bit if you'll notice that the leaves are coming off my tree, so I wanted to capture it in every stage. A lot of you have mentioned about your naturopathic wellness business. That's what I want to talk about for everyone, because we talk about change. Look at the seasons change, but behind both of us, that really is one more opportunity for the pivot, shift, change part. And when you think about what problem do you solve, I can't express enough the things I've learned from you, and they have been little simple changes. This is not like a monumental, holy moly, redo my everything. This has been fantastic. And I really do love that about you. Your consultations, I notice on your website, your pricing is there. Tell me a little bit about the navigation part.
Um, it's a free 30-minute consultation,
Okay.
which basically I used to sit down with people. I was sit down over coffee, but if that's what
Yes.
you want to do, I'm there. Just ask me where you want to go.
Yes.
And but seriously, yeah, it's a 30-minute consultation, and we basically just talk about what you need for your health. And I just get a brief history, and then we just kind of go from there. I give people their options as far as how I work. I'm a very quote unquote hands-on person. I'm pulling a lot of pieces in, not only my naturopathic training, but my experience with chronic illness over the past 12, it's been over 12 years.
Oh
I
my
say 12 years,
gosh.
but I think it's actually been closer to 14. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I've been gluten-free and dairy-free for 14 years. I'm like, oh my gosh, before it was popular.
Yeah.
And I'm only 27 like you, Queenie.
Yeah.
Uh, but I pull that piece in. I pull my experience out in the alternative natural healthcare field. I pull that in, and it's like solving a puzzle. It's getting. I always do the garden reference. You pull a weed and it'll grow back stronger. You get to the root of it, you'll figure out how to get that weed out, and that's kind of what a symptom is. That's what an illness or a disease is. It's a symptom of the body not functioning properly. So that's kind of. I think I sidetracked a little bit,
But that's a perfect
but
analogy, though, with the weeds. Seriously, if you have had chronic pain, chronic illness, even 14 years ago, and you've been able to basically, in this case, help yourself learn, and now look at you. I mean, seriously, you have your own business to help other people. Those are the kind of things that these are not accidents. And the fact that we met, again, God does have a sense of humor, because you talk a lot about the oil and water piece. And I believe that, seriously. The two of us, I do think, is oil and water. But look how that has meshed together. And I think it's back to the respect, certainly, transparency, absolutely, determination, and certainly in this environment, the shift, pivot, change thing. So for you to be able, the analogy of the weed is perfect. If you just pluck off the weed, I even know from my limited experience over here that it grows back like cray. But if you get down into the thing, get it out of there, then it disappears and you're done. And I love that.
well, and take that season, transition pivot theme. There is a season for everything, from both our perspectives. If something pops up and you need to get healthy, it's easy for me to say just do it. There's a lot of moving pieces, but like you, also our lives for a reason. I can go down a list of the people that helped me get healthy.
Yeah.
um, I had to have the drive, and I had to take the chance and the risk, and it was scary. It was scary. But my back was against a wall. It was either lose my life or live, and that's what I chose. So it's like you say, it's people coming, all of this, even people that are following us are members. This is not a chance. It's that
Mm-mm.
chessboard that we talk about. We're all in each other's lives for a reason. And even if it's just to
Absolutely.
laugh today and Monday, our silly little jokes, then your job is done, and hopefully it turned, you pivoted. Because if you have Mondays like I do sometimes, you need to laugh. I don't
And
like Monday.
that's another oil and water piece, because you have told everyone before that your favorite time of the week is Friday at 5. And you say that
Yes.
all the time. And my favorite day of the week is Monday.
Monday morning. She's like,
And
oh, I can't wait for the week. And I'm like, ugh.
it really is
Uh.
literally how we are. I wake up in the morning and it's like, ta-da, let's get started. And you're going, give me a few hours. And then your favorite time.
Yeah, I want to pull the covers over my head.
Yes. And your favorite time of the day seems to be night when you get so much done. And it's just funny to me
Yes.
that this friendship has blossomed. And that's why for me, it really is the oil and water piece. And Jesus has a sense of humor. We've talked about several of our favorite scripture verses,
Yeah.
and they're not the same either. And it really has been an incredible journey. And I can't honestly believe the numbers of ladies who are friends with us now on the Doc and Queenie group page. My YouTube channel is Kathy Weaver KC. I have subscribers now, you guys. This is like funny to me. I just post
Awesome.
out there. I don't know who's going to get on. I know with your RevDoc 7 page, everybody gets on to see the gardening videos that you've done. It's phenomenal how this whole experience has made our world a little smaller and our lives a lot bigger. And I think maybe this pivot, change, shift thing has been a good thing. Maybe we've gotten to meet ladies.
I hope for others.
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, definitely.
I
Yes.
think it has been a fun journey. And once again, thank you to everyone who follows us live, certainly on the replays, and subscribes to our channels and follows our pages. And I want to remind everybody, everyone is invited to our October 20th bingo party.
Yes.
Just again, a chance to get to know certainly our sponsors. They get a few minutes to speak before they offer their prize for that game. It's been so cool to be able to see how to do this virtually. And what do you have to bring? The answer is one piece of paper and one writing utensil, and that's it. So it's not even difficult. And then you get to win a prize and connect with one of our sponsors. It's so fun.
Yes.
And you're going to take
it's tons of fun, and then you can listen. You cut out there. What did you just say?
I'm not allowed to do music anymore, so you're going to take care of the music, right? If
Yeah.
you do the music, then that would be.
Yes, we have some tunes we recognize.
You recognize. I still don't recognize yours, but that's okay. Yeah, I was doing a little.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
We'll do a poll. We'll do a poll on which music we play for bingo. That actually is a good idea.
Well, sure. Yeah, and that one's not recorded, by the way, so it's just girls having a blast. That's
no. I would say invite your friends to join. It's all about just getting together and having fun. I think in the future we're talking about once we're released and a little more free to go about. Who knows what we'll come up with getting together with faithful friends on purpose. I think this is just a good
wouldn't
thing.
that be super fun? I mean, seriously, to be able to be with the girls in person would be awesome.
Yeah.
And again, the support that we've gotten has been so incredible, like holy moly. And that really has been a blast. So I'm looking forward to more Doc and Queenies. We meet when? Every Monday at?
High noon.
That's the one. And here on Facebook Live. So that's been so fun for us too, to get to learn how to work all these buttons, which is kind of like an air traffic control panel.
Yes. So it looks like we're kind of coming in for a landing, and my internet is not behaving. So I'm going to speak a little bit here, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, Queenie.
Okay. Maybe your internet knows it's Monday also.
Probably. So I'd just like to thank everybody sincerely from both of us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for, sending this out on watch parties and liking it, making comments. We love the comments. We love the connections. Look up our Facebook pages, Beyond Basic Health, Miracles with Water, KathyWeaverKC.com, RevDoc7.com. We're on Instagram. I don't remember your Instagram. I will get it.
Kathy Weaver KC.
Kathy Weaver KC. And I'm actually revdoc7kc.com because there's another revdoc7 on Instagram.
How dare they?
I know.
How can there be another RevDoc7? That's like impossible.
I know. I just acted to it. RevDoc7 has taken off, and I didn't act fast enough. So, but you can, and I'm also beyondbasichealth.org. So you can find us everywhere and anywhere to just connect. And it's all about building relationships and having fun, lighten up, lighten the load, because life is too serious. I always choose to laugh and love and live life to its fullest. That would be my take home for everybody.
And that's a perfect take home also. I think about that as far as some of the friendship things, and we have mentioned to some of the ladies that have contacted us personally, we're going to get into the transparency part, the vulnerability part. What does that look like when you actually share with someone and actually trust someone enough to know either parts of your past or even parts of your future? Some of the things that people are planning, and they say, what do you think I should do about this? Or how would you handle something that came up like that? And those are the kind of things. It's basically the Institute of Doc and Queenie Higher Learning and what that is going to be all about futuristically for us. Because again, this is not happenstance how oil and water turned out to be Doc and Queenie.
No.
Behind me, if you see these cars, mine will be sashaying and the little red car will be flying by you. But if you happen to notice these cars, this is us. And it's pretty cool how we have our license plates as our identity too. And say, if you can see RevDoc7 fly by, definitely I'm a 6A part, sauntering, but
I just, I have a goal.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And I just like to be outside, soak the sunshine. That's my deal. But it has been awesome for us to be able to be together and for you to take the time to be with us every single Monday at high noon. And we so appreciate you. Doc, again, congratulations on your 60th podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic. And we're thrilled to listen, and we're thrilled that you're on there.
And we are thrilled you are reading every chapter of your book, so we don't have to pick up a book. We can just listen. I love that format anyways. So I can't wait for the next chapter.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We will see you right here Monday at high noon on the Facebook Live page. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.